Hey, Shomakenge Nijani. Hey, I'm good. Hey. Yeah, I'm better than most times. Usually by the time I get to the video. Maybe Afrika in the Hazel Monday morning thing. Usually by the time I get to this video, it's been deep thought and deep emotions and right. So we talked about boundaries, we talked about in essence being loved wrong. We talked about loving people into wrongness, if I can put it that way. Where I am this week is, how do I put this? How many of our relationships are messed up because we got hurt and kept quiet about it? So, how I was raised is that my emotions don't matter. Yeah, that's how I was raised. I was raised as a tough child. I don't know if I'm innately that way or it was cultivated, learned behavior, or born that way. I don't know. But because of that toughness that is exuded, I've always been a pillar for many people to cry on. I've been a shoulder to cry on for many people, a pillar for people to hold on for strength. And that made me think that, do I have a backstory for this one? I usually have backstories. Okay, I remember high school. High school, I was always a friend that you could cry to and ask for advice, right? Let me call it innate wisdom, because some of the advice, thinking back, I would give, I don't know where I got it from. Like, I'd give relationship advice and it would work. But I'm terrible at relationships. Well, I mean, romantic ones. You know, so I think my thing is, some relationships ended because in silence, I was crying for a certain kind of attention. In silence, I was crying for a certain kind of affection. And I am a person, I don't know if it's because I'm empathetic or what, but I'm a person that can usually read what someone needs from me. You know, if you're someone who's going through something and it's the jokes that will get you through, I will know in that moment that it's the jokes that will get you through. If you're someone I know that's going through something and it's a cry that you need, I can facilitate that. If it's a hug and just silence, I'll facilitate that. If it's a session of getting into scripture deeply, scripture, I can give you that. If you just need to hear it, okay, I can give you that, even if it's a lie. If you need to hear the truth about how to fix what you're going through, I can read that that's what you need. And so my biggest mistake has always been that I think that the people that receive that from me are able to read me and give me what I need without me are able to give me what I need without me having to say it. You know, I have some deep relationships that ended on the whim, and I still can't explain why. I can, because I felt I needed something from someone, and because I was always there to give them what they need in terms of comfort, I was shocked, disappointed, and hurt when I didn't get it back from them. But what emerges, the epiphany I just had, is that, you know, the cliche that love is communication, relationships are communication. No. Yes and no. We think, in my head, maybe it's me, and maybe I got the definition wrong. In my head, communication is just talking things through and talking your point so that you are heard. But communication, the purpose of communication is understanding. so you can move forward. So you need to understand a instruction fully for you to be able to fulfill it fully, right? So if I'm communicating that I'm happy, it's not enough. Or if I'm communicating that I'm sad, it's not enough. The main question I ask these days when someone comes to me with a problem is, how would you like me to help you? Even though in my head I've got an inkling about what it is. So I've never been someone who's been asked that. And because I come across as bubbly and knowable, it's not a word, but knowable, it occurs to me that people think that they know me, and so they think that they know what would comfort me. And so when they don't do that, or they do the opposite that actually ends up hurting me, then I want to blame them. And I'm like, no, it means that you never loved me. You don't know me. And to be honest, I talk a hell of a lot, but for the most part of my life, I've never been expressive about who I am and what I'm feeling deeply. Surface things I'm great at discussing, and I'll make you understand, and you'll think that you've got the gist of it. So this week's topic is about how many of our relationships are we messing up because we fail to communicate where we are specifically and in detail. And I know that it's hard. Emotions are hard things to navigate. Sometimes it's hard to verbalize what you're going through, right? Because I had an experience recently where, and to be honest, this experience was almost worth another relationship breakdown. And it's a very important relationship in my life, this one that I'm talking about. And basically what happened was, we've been getting along, me and this person, forever. We meet each other at our points of need in their various and distinct ways. And there was a day I was unable to fulfill what I had promised to fulfill in the manner I think that this person required. And they were harsh to me in response to that. And the first thing that came to my head is, because I'm a defensive person, is, so this person does not see the value of anything else that I've ever done for them, if they're able to speak to me like that. And it's got nothing to do with disrespect. Nothing to do with disrespect. I think more than anything what came about was disregard. That's what I interpreted. Disregard. So I realized that this relationship could have unraveled by today. This was something that happened, I don't know, in the middle of the week last week, I don't know. This had the capacity and I don't know, I don't have the word for it, but it created a possibility for this relationship to end just based on that encounter and that bad day. So it talks to me about how I can't express myself in that that kind of communication hurts me. And it's funny because we talked it through, myself and this person, and I can't say we resolved it, but I can say because I got an opportunity to lay bare what I felt. Whatever resistance would have been created within the relationship and our interactions from here on out is gone. And I talked to this person, they're like, no. Mina mangikwatile, ngiyakwata ngiqede. Angihlali lapho. It's not a nice place, it's a dirty place that and also their behavior that day was not unusual, but it hit me different. And in saying, listen, so for me, growing up, my mother was a kind of woman where I would come home, and it happened where I came home with a 98% for mathematics, and I didn't get a congratulations. She asked me, where's the 2%? That was the kind of mother I had. Buhali, And so this experience I had last week was a 2% experience. So I don't think the experience or the encounter itself was that deep, but because there's unfixed things within me, that's where it hit. And because it hit me there, I require in my head that they know where I come from with that relationship. Because if there's a relationship I love talking about, it's one with my mom, usually my mom and my sister. So in my head, because this person knows what 2% means to me, what discussing 2% as opposed to 98 means to me, I expected that in approach, they would know that this would hurt me, this encounter. And in our talking, they were telling me that this is who I am. And you know this. You know? There was an apology in the sense that there was never an intention to hate you. The intention was to put a message across that I required A, B, and C, and you did not deliver. Which is perfectly valid. If someone said they would do something and they did it and they didn't do it in the way that you did, you don't expect them to come to you and say, look, I'm going to praise you because anyways, you did anyways do this. But no, you didn't do the main thing and in the way that it was required, especially because there was other people depending on whatever agreement that me and this guy made. No, person. It wasn't a guy. Me and this person made. So I talked to this lady and she's like, this is who I am. And especially when we're talking about, let's say business, I'll say business. I'm not friendly. And an agreement is an agreement. Valid point. So she says to me, then maybe something that I did wrong. And in saying that, it hit me that no, actually. Why am I calling this person? Because I was wrong. And I was calling to put them right, to be honest. But I was wrong. But in expressing how I felt, even in my wrongness, acknowledged or not, and she did acknowledge it, I was able to fix myself concerning the relationship. I realized I didn't need comfort and I love you and oh yes, the 98% was great and no. I needed my emotions to be validated. So I'm at a place where right now I'm learning how to navigate emotions. It's a hard lesson because every couple of years or so this lesson comes in a new way, in a shape, in a new dimension. And I would have always thought when it comes that, no, but I cried last year and I cried a lot and I did it and I'm done. But I'm not. Because even now I realize that I feel like I'm crying for things that are happening now. But things that are happening now are triggering things that happened sometimes, some of them decades ago. And when someone comes and I respond with a response that's taken me a decade to form, that's what breaks relationships. I don't have the time to bring you back from 1994. But you're so wrong right now that I need to let go of you in my life. So right now this week, what I'm thinking about is, because I'm on a mission to preserve valuable relationships. I'm thinking about how disintegration of relationships has happened on my side based on an inability to express what I'm really feeling. So let's talk this week about how miscommunications in terms of expressing how you feel has caused relationships to disintegrate, important ones. Because I find that because we've learned professional language, we can communicate in the professional sphere. But in our personal spheres, we bring that same doctrine. And those are two different worlds. They're two different worlds. There's a scripture that says, can two walk together unless they agree? So you can't walk together with someone unless you are in agreement. And some of the disagreements are non-verbal. And some of those non-verbal disagreements that break down relationships are fixable, you know. So I'm not coming with as much of a heavy heart this week. But I'm in a fixing mode. Love Unpacked, week 5. Inbox, comment, text, share. Let's heal, guys. Yo, our generation is broken. Yo, sure, my gang, sure. Yeah, let's talk.